Hello and welcome to a movement of people who care so much about how they feel that they make time for themselves every day. I'm the leader of this movement and the host of this podcast, and my name is Megan Nolan. I am a wellness coach for purpose-driven entrepreneurs and women on a mission, and I am all about helping you to be healthy, happy, and sustainably successful. So let's jump into today's episode that will help you to do that. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Purposeful Powerhouse podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about 5 potential mistakes that you might be making that may or may not be keeping you from creating and sticking to a morning routine that you love and look forward to every day. But before we get into those 5 mistakes that, I hear a lot, I see a lot in my community, I see a lot with my clients that admittedly, I've made a few of them myself. Yes. I wanted to invite you to something. I have created a brand new series of sessions called Rise and Vibe. It's going to be a 5-week experience to help you to refresh your morning routine so you can start the day with joyful energy. It's going to be happening once a week on Tuesdays, 30 minutes, and it's going to be jam-packed. Each session will be jam-packed with all sorts of empowering tools for you to not only experience in that session, but take with you and integrate into your life. Breath work, yoga, toning exercises, meditation, empowering intentions, all of those things. So if you are ready for a refresh, if you would love the support and the accountability and the community and the consistency of having a routine that you love and look forward to, then join us. They are virtual sessions, and I'm going to put the link for you to grab your spot so that you can rise and vibe with us. So let's talk about morning routines. Why am I so passionate about them? Why would I love for you to have one that you love? Well, because I know that they are a game changer. I know that they make a massive difference. How do I know this? Well, you may have guessed it. Yes, because they have made a massive difference in my life and in the lives of many of my clients in my community, because of the way that they allow you to set the tone for the entire day, to do it first. And by it, I mean take care of the most important task that you have, which is to take care of yourself. The most important meeting that you have every day is the one that you have with yourself. But for some reason, it's often ones that we push to the end of the to-do list, that we knock right off the schedule for the day when there's a lot going on. And that's actually one of the mistakes, so I'm not going to ruin that. But the reason that I know this is because for many periods of my life, when I have been so dedicated to my morning routine, showing up, even if it's just a few minutes, sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's hours, right? I love it so much. I love to luxuriate in it when I can, but sometimes I don't have that time. And so in those times, I just feel so myself. I feel lit up. I feel aligned. I feel powerful. I feel unstoppable. And I know that it affects everything in my life. Contrast that with the days when I don't do it and I feel chaotic. I feel scattered. I feel like I'm frantic and frazzled and on the verge of a freak out, which, as you've been listening for a while, is the hallmark calling card of the worn out woman. And it happens, right? And so for me, part of the reason I do it is because when I skip it, my body complains about it. My brain is spinning all over the place. My emotional state is affected because I just feel like flat. And I just know that time that I give myself in the morning is the time for me. I take that time to fill myself up. I breathe in for me so that I can give and I can serve and I can show up doing stuff like this for you. And that's how it works, right? It's a reciprocity. It's just like the breath. We inhale so that we can exhale. We take in, you take care of yourself because your health is your wealth. If you don't make time for wellness, you'll make time for illness. You've heard all the sayings. But the reality is that when you have a morning routine that you love so much, you look forward to it, it literally changes everything. And I think that it really is a foundational element. And it is a foundational element of the mindful strength method, which is my combination of yoga, exercise, breath work, mental fitness for that reason, right? For that reason. And so I've talked about it in other episodes, but today let's talk about the mistakes. Because thinking that your routine has to be the same every day, it's probably not working out. Is it working out for you? Like to just try to do the same thing day after day? Maybe you get a little bored with it. Maybe you get frustrated. Maybe some days you're like, oh, this is so not what I need right now. I'm tired. I don't want to do this intense workout or whatever it is. And that's the reality, especially for those of us that are women, identify as women. We have cyclical patterns to our energy. And so it's important that you listen to your body, that you do what you feel you want to do on that day. And it doesn't have to be an hour. It can be 5 minutes, and it can be really impactful in 5 minutes. It can be 15 minutes, right? And that's it, is that you get to decide based on what you need that day. You get to decide what you're going to integrate into the morning routine. Some people, I will say, some people love to have the same thing day over day. Perfect. If that's your jam, that's probably not the mistake that you're making then. That's fine. Okay. So let's learn how to mix it up and make it fun, right? And of course, you're going to learn lots of options inside Rise and Vibe. So the second mistake that a lot of people make is thinking that the morning routine has to be exactly like XYZ person that you learned it from. Okay. So thinking that your morning routine has to look exactly like mine or Brendan Burchard's or Oprah Winfrey or Tony Robbins or whoever. I don't believe that that's the case. I think what we want to look at is the underlying principle, the fact that so many people are advocates for morning routines. That's what we want to look at. I want you to look at the things that they're doing and pick and choose, right? There's always an element of choice. You get to decide, right? And what I want you to look at is there's probably some core pillars. So inside the mindful strength method, when you amplify your morning routine, there's really 3 core elements to that. And the acronym is AMR. AMR. So the A stands for align your mind. And you'll see a lot of people in their routines doing vision work, journaling, tapping, prayer, meditation, whatever. Align your mind to your vision, to that ideal state of being, to the frequency of the future, the identity that you want to fully integrate and embody. That's what we want to align to. The M stands for movement. Move your body. You're not a rock, right? You're not a tree. You get up and move. Your body prefers it when you do, right? You probably spend a lot of time in the ouchy slouchy posture, sitting down on that little booty of yours. And movement in the morning has all sorts of beautiful benefits of boosting productivity, mood, lowering stress levels, revving up your metabolism, all sorts of awesome things. But it doesn't have to be yoga. If you don't like yoga or you don't want to work out, or maybe you want to dance or do Tai Chi or breath work, whatever, just move your body. Okay. Move your body, activate your core musculature so that you can feel strong and powerful and confident in your body. That's really what it comes down to. So we have align your mind, move your body, and repeat, 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 repeat. Okay. So repetition. So that's why it's important that it suits you and it serves you. That's why it feels like it works in your schedule, because in order for you to feel the effects of it, we want to begin to be consistent with it. And that's why, having it be an every once in a while thing, that's great, right? It always counts. You always get a gold star when you take care of yourself. But ideally, it's something that you repeat on a daily basis, hopefully. And that's where I can certainly help you with that. And I would love to, and I'd be honored to. So let's get creative with it, mix it up, work within those core pillars and do what works for your body. So the third mistake is skipping it when you've got a lot going on. When you're busy, maybe you're in a launch, maybe you're in a promo, maybe your kids are doing XYZ things that kids do. Maybe you're, I don't know, whatever. Life is busy, right? The thing is we all have the same 24 hours in the day. The decision is whether or not this is truly a priority to you. I know it's a bit blunt, but the reality is, if your health is a priority to you, if the way you feel is a priority to you, you'll make time for it. And it doesn't have to be a lot of time, right? And That's where having that decision and that commitment to yourself and caring so much about how you feel that you make time for yourself by saying, you know what, I know I have a lot to do and my brain is telling me I better get going. Then the solution is give yourself 5 minutes. I know you have 5 minutes, right? I know you understand that when you are in a stressed, highly activated state, you are not in your leadership energy. You are not in full alignment because from a physiological perspective, you are active in the survival center of the brain. The stress center is not where you are in your most creative, powerful, present, kind, patient energy. No, it's not how it works. So when you take 5 minutes and you ground yourself and you breathe and you align your mind and move your body and repeat your power statements or whatever it is you're going to do, you shift yourself out of the red zone and into the green zone. And in the green zone is when you are in that stay and play, calm and centered, rest and digest state in the nervous system, which is where you have activated the higher prefrontal cortex aspect of the brain and you are in the creative center of your brain, right? You probably heard that lovely quote from the Dalai Lama who said, if you don't have time to meditate for an hour, then you need to meditate for 2 hours. And his point is that our brain is always going to tell us that we don't have time for stuff like this. When you are in a state of activation and presence and expansiveness, it's potentially threatening to your ego and your current identity and your current state of being. And, getting out of that frantic, frazzled, worn out woman vibe, although it's probably your priority and your desire, your brain perceives anything outside of your realm of familiarity as potentially threatening. So that's part of the reason why a lot of people will say, oh, yoga, I don't know, it's just too boring, it's too slow. Okay, that's fine. I'm not here to sell you on yoga if you don't like it, but I'm just saying there's a lot of different styles, there's a lot of different teachers. And the reality is that when we are doing something that's potentially expanding you and allowing you to open back up to your pure possibility and potentiality, your brain is saying things like, oh boy, what's happening here? Stop this nonsense. We need to pull out all the stops. No more of this open-minded creativity stuff because it's potentially threatening to your current state of being. So when we are super stressed out and your brain is saying, no, we got to get going, there's too much to do, that's where you get to say, you know what? I care so much about how I feel and how I'm going to show up today. And I know that when I'm feeling grounded, I make better decisions. I'm a nicer person to be around. My body doesn't hurt. I'm not cranky. Then I'm going to give myself 5 minutes, okay, or half an hour, whatever it is, right? So dropping into that decision and taking that time for yourself. It doesn't have to be a lot. 1 minute, 5 minutes, just be really intentional and it's a game changer. So the fourth mistake that some people make that are keeping them from getting into the consistent habit with morning routines is grabbing your phone within 20 minutes of waking up and going right to the scroll. It happens. A lot of people do it, right? Use your phone as an alarm. Your alarm goes off. You grab your phone, you turn off do not disturb. And before you know it, you're scrolling all the reels on the Instagram and then you do it the Facebook and then the email and da. And then it's 30 minutes later and you're just like into the abyss of social media. And then maybe you're still going to go do your morning routine, or maybe you've read a message or you've gotten an email and you're already in the workspace, or you're already in your head, right? Somebody sends you a message, it was short, you're kind of confused about it, you got to reply to it, you don't know what to say, all of that stuff. So it can easily switch you into go mode and cause us to go into that overthinking, over analyzing situation. And so maybe you just go right into go mode, you start work right away. Or if you're like, oh shit, I don't want to go into the work day this way, feeling like this, and you go to your mat, you go to your workout or whatever, you're still going to do your 5 minutes or whatever it is. And still you're just kind of mentally pacing and you're already like running the conversation in your head or what have you. So I would say that one of the most important things that you can do is make that commitment to how you feel and how you're showing up, and not allowing yourself to begin to scroll and go into work mode until you've done something for yourself. And that can literally be 5 minutes of gentle bed yoga or breath work or meditation. Use that time Do it first, get it done. Do it first, get it done. That's my new mantra. Do it first, get it done. You deserve your time and attention. You deserve that ability to set the tone for the day and start the day intentionally, because that is everything. So, the fifth and final mistake that can or may be keeping you from really finding your groove with your routine is having a routine that pushes you so hard, or just really feels like it's really hard for you to do. Like, oh, I'm supposed to do these 5 different things and it's supposed to take an hour, or I'm supposed to do this really hard workout or whatever. And it just doesn't feel like you. It doesn't feel like it supports you. It doesn't feel like it's what you need, but yet you're somehow committed to it. Or you start doing this workout and you're like, okay, well, I'm supposed to do it for 75 days or whatever it is. You've probably heard of that. But here's the thing. If you push yourself to exhaustion and then all day long you're like, oh God, I don't know why I did that. I'm dragging hard. I don't want to do that again tomorrow. But then you feel like you have to do it, or you just stay, you know what, screw it. 75 whatever is not for me, or this isn't for me, and you break the habit, right? And that's frustrating, and it's disappointing when we break promises to ourselves. And so, that happens a lot, is setting these really crazy expectations or goals for ourselves and not having that flexibility, not tapping into your intuition, not going on what you need from day to day based on how you sleep, based on where you're at in your cycle. Like, all of those things are impactful. So the opposite to that is many of the things we've been speaking to, is finding variety, integrating these different tools of, maybe it doesn't have to be a crazy hard workout. Maybe one day you're going to do yoga and you're going to dance. Maybe another day you are going to push yourself. You're going to get your weights. You're going to do some cardio, whatever it is, right? And really, the ideal is to integrate these different components into your routine so that you're getting these pillars of lifelong physical vitality. So physical vitality is built on these key pillars: strength, flexibility, core work, cardio, and balance. These are things that you want to be able to integrate into your movement routine so that you can continue to do them, right? You can continue to go out and, paddling in the outrigger canoe. You can do stand-up paddle. You can go skiing. You can, I don't know what else. Like, you can go mountain climbing. You can, I don't know. Try to think of random things. I need a snack. But, all the things that you love to do. And that's really why we're doing all these things. We hear a lot about, oh, I'm going to work on my summer body. What about your body 20 years from now, where you're able to live and have a high quality of life, right? That's kind of what it comes down to. What about being able to move your body and reach to the top shelf in 20 years, and you're not having to be hunched over using a walker and struggling to get around? Like, yeah, it's amazing to feel strong and sexy in your body, and that's a byproduct of this. But we want to think of it from a quality of life perspective, both today and, tomorrow, next week, but years from now. So that's really why having these movement pillars, having this morning routine is so key. And so hopefully you got some inspiration on how to just take a curious look at maybe some of the things that are tripping you up and keeping you from having a consistent morning routine that you love and you look forward to, because it is so potent, right? There's a reason that some very successful, very wealthy, very impactful people are always singing the praises of it, because of how it makes you feel. And if you are the voice of your brand, if you are your brand, if you are a leader, if you are a guide, it's all about your energy. And when you are being intentional with nurturing your connection to yourself, taking time to keep yourself feeling strong, feeling grounded, having flexibility, not being in pain, being able to have this like radiance about you and authentic confidence about you because you're taken care of. That's really what all of this is about, right? Whether or not it's a morning routine or a midday routine or an afternoon routine, it's all good. Like, again, it doesn't have to be at 5 a.m. There doesn't have to be this rigidity to it. It's about intentionally making and taking time for yourself because you care about how you feel. That's what it comes down to. So I hope that you found these potential mistakes, eye-opening, illuminating. Hopefully you got some inspiration, and I would love to share more inspiration with you. Would love to have you join us for Rise and Vibe. Check out the link in the show notes. And if you have questions, reach out, because I think it's high time you had a morning routine that you loved and look forward to, so that you are showing up as the purposeful powerhouse that you truly are, using that incredible tool that is your mind, learning to harness it and think on purpose, moving your body to keep it strong and healthy, and breathing to stay connected and inspired and expansive, and really intentionally showing up for yourself. Because when you do that, it unlocks more ease, more flow, more joy in all areas of your life. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you really enjoyed this episode and got a lot out of it. Please let me know what landed for you by taking a screenshot and sharing your takeaways on your Instagram stories. Make sure to tag me at I am Megan Nolan for a shout out in future episodes. And don't forget to grab all the goodies that we mentioned during the episode, because you're gonna love them. So all the links are in the show notes. So until next time, cheers to you living on purpose every day.